Welcome to Rock Solid, the Round Rock Business Leaders Podcast. Join your host, Bryan Eisenberg, as he explores the journeys of entrepreneurs and companies across Round Rock, Texas. From startups and nonprofits to large organizations, each guest shares their passion for doing business in this thriving community. Let's dive in.
Hi, everybody. It's Bryan Eisenberg, and welcome to Rock Solid. This week, I am joined by my friend Lucia. I am so excited to finally have you here. We've been trying to coordinate this for a long time. There's so many great stories that I want you to share with our audience because ever since I first met you, you've really laid an impression about not only you, but what it means to be part of this community. And I want to start because you're not originally from this community. You came from a border town and you moved here and bought a house with your sister.
Yes.
And I'm most curious, out of anywhere you could have gone, because you got your master's degree at UT, you chose Round Rock, Texas. And if you had somebody who's coming from the first time, let's say from El Paso, and they were visiting Round Rock, where would you take them to show them what it is that you fell in love with Round Rock?
Oh, wow. It's such an interesting question. I recently had my best friend from elementary school come down here with her 3 girls and her husband, and I hosted them, and I was just so excited, and they wanted to see Austin, and I was like, no, there's so much in Round Rock and so much to do, especially with, young children and young families, and so, I prioritized Kalahari for sure, right?
World's largest indoor water park.
Yep. And that was the first time I got to experience it as well.
Should we ask how you did on the slides?
I am a good swimmer, but I don't think I got on there. Her 3 little girls loved it and just kept going on and on. But also just, the food and, the nightlife is also amazing. I mean, I remember when I first moved to Austin, I was like, oh, IKEA, right, is in Round Rock.
That was
and
it, yeah.
That was far north. And nowadays, you've got downtown Round Rock, you've got all of these up-and-coming, retail people in the service industry, and the food is just amazing. So definitely took them to downtown, and we walked and, took them to Purely Provisions, and, the girls got to play. So, mom and dad got to, have their drinks, but also the girls got to have fun.
An espresso martini by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I like it with tequila.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I got to be the really cool aunt. So I had a goal there. I was like, I want to be the favorite aunt. So, yeah.
It sounds like you succeeded.
I think so. I mean, the jury's still out.
Okay. Gotta
or it's not out.
Keep on working on it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We just came back from the Young Professionals event.
Yes, we did.
I'm the young-ish professional.
You are, right? Age is what you make it.
Absolutely. And you're part of the Young Professionals Council as well. Why is the Young Professionals so important to you, especially in this community?
So as someone who, while I was in grad school, I would move every year. And so I got to really experience Austin geographically. And when my sister and I decided, let's buy a house, it was during COVID. I had already done leadership Round Rock, and I had nothing but like great things to say about the program. But in my mind, I kept thinking, no, we have to stay in Austin because we won't have friends otherwise. And, at the time in 2020, early 2021, housing prices were just astronomical. And we got outbid time and time again. And my sister kept saying, I don't want to flip a house. Like, if we're going to flip it, that's going to be you. Mm-hmm. That's not going to be me. I want move-in ready. And so she ended up mentioning, well, what about Round Rock? And I remember like my eyes kind of got big and I was like, well, I never considered it, even though I loved what I learned during leadership. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, we found our perfect home. But I remember thinking, well, all my friends are in Austin, right? All the things,
Your tribe, yeah.
all of the experiences, yeah, all of my tribe is in Austin, and there's not going to be a lot to do for young single individuals. And through the chamber, getting involved, and then starting Round Rock YP, it's just it's become something that I would have never imagined. I can say I have, and not in a bragging way, but just I have my tribe here, and it is a large part has to do with providing that space for young entrepreneurs, young professionals in their careers. If you have kids or if you don't have kids, it's such a welcoming community, and so it just offers connections to meet people, that you might have things in common with, right? And if you don't, then you can still share those experiences. So for me, it was really important, and I just feel so blessed and honored to have been part of its inception and to have been part of that council and creating the events that bring people together, because I think connecting people is one of the things that I love the most.
And the amount of buzz, not just because it was instilled coffee and people had plenty of coffee,
right.
But definitely just the buzz, the energy in the room of just how excited people were to connect with each other it's palpable. I mean, you really feel the difference.
Right. And you never think, people think, Round Rock is in the suburbs of Austin, but Round Rock's its own city. It's its own metroplex and
top 10 city to live in. Yeah,
exactly.
I want to get to how you got to leadership, because what I found fascinating about your background is, you started in a journalism and communications background, but now you've been in the business development around engineering for the last number of years. Started big firm, and now you went to small firm. How did all of that play into, you getting into leadership and focused in on leadership, and now obviously being the leadership chair?
Yeah. So I moved to Austin for grad school, journalism, and halfway through my journalism career or education, I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. I realized, the world is changing. Journalism, it takes so long to get to. I wanted to do broadcast.
Well, you're on the podcast now. So
here we go. 12 years later, 14 years later. But I realized, I think I needed something a little bit more wholesome. And so I wanted to go.
So sales. Yeah. Right.
Wholesome. It's so wholesome.
Okay.
You're right. I just something with a little bit more opportunity other than, just, the hours were awful. The pay's not great at the beginning. And just business really, really intrigued me, because I realized through journalism and interviewing different just topics and people in different industries and realizing, like, even if you don't know anything about a topic, you can learn, right? And so I feel like that's what business is, right? Every aspect of our life is touched by a business. And so I decided to do my internship in marketing, and I saw this firm, and it said Aguirre and Fields, and it said transportation and bridge, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
Got me.
Yeah, not me. But they had a marketing internship, and so I applied for it, and I got it, and so I started as a marketing intern, helping with proposal writing, and then I got hired full time, and then I realized, this people, soft skills is really where I thrive, and I think they saw that too. And I say Aguirre and Fields raised me, and they gave me the opportunity to hone in on those skills, and connecting engineers with leaders in the community who often don't know what the engineering entails, like myself. Became something that I really, really enjoyed. And so that's how they, created a business development role for me. And it just kind of went off from there. Yeah.
And you got involved in your first leadership class
through that firm.
Okay.
That was basically the entry point into my business development career, was leadership, Round Rock.
And what year was that?
2018.
So you're going to have to give a shout out to, obviously,
the best class ever.
Yeah.
Leadership class of 2018.
Bill may argue about that. He's got a few years before that one, but obviously, famous joke. I still haven't done it. That's my next year's project, I'm hoping.
You're already a leader.
Yeah.
In the community.
Thank you. My question is, now you're also leading Leadership Round Rock as this young professional, right? What does it feel like leading also the largest leadership class ever?
Yes, we have 30 folks.
And more importantly, what's the biggest surprise you get by leading them?
I think first off, I haven't done public speaking in so long, so kind of dusting off that skill set and working through it, right? Has definitely, I've surprised myself in that aspect. But the thing that I think I enjoy the most is seeing people in the class really pay attention and soak in all the information, and then tying the overall theme, because we really dive deep into what the city is, right? How the city runs, who are the movers and shakers, the city culture as well, and what makes, Round Rock so special. And so every month we meet up and we have, it's either Community Involvement Day, it's City History Day, it's Chamber Day, it's County Day, it's City Day, Critical Infrastructure Day. And so I like to ask the class at the end, when I'm closing it out, I say, who learned something new today? And always, every single person.
Even people, lifelong Round Rock residents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so just seeing people nod their heads and see their eyes get a little bit bigger, and just seeing the knowledge being passed down, I think, is what makes our community so amazing. No one's trying to gatekeep anything. We're trying to better our community. And it starts by having these programs to help empower and give people the tools and resources to continue making Round Rock the thriving city that it is today. And a lot of that has to do with the people before us, right? Because they set up that foundation. And so my purpose in all of this is to continue that, right? I want to set up a strong foundation for folks, and I want them to continue this on. So, whenever I'm not here, this continues, right?
I'm curious because, I'd love to take you back to when you were in school, and if someone would have told you about leadership back then, did you think leadership was going to be a program that was for you? And who really is it for? Who should get involved in this leadership program?
Well, it's funny you say that because when I started, I was one of the youngest people in the class. And I remember, and I was probably 27, 26. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh. Again, right? My tribe is in Austin. We're doing young people things. And
right, you didn't have a business here. You didn't anything, but
exactly. And so I would have never thought that leadership was going to play such a pivotal role, not only in my life professionally, but personally, right? This is a program that I so believe in, and I have made so many, not only connections, but friendships. And I would have never thought, when I was younger, I did student government when I was an undergrad, and I loved it. But never would I have thought, this, small leadership program in this smaller city was going to just
transform who you are. Yeah. Kind of want to take a left turn, different event. But the Round Rock Chamber also holds the Women Who Mean Business event.
Yes.
And this is the first year they did it for a full day, and I got to go there. But the question I have for you as a young woman leader in our community, what does it mean for you in terms of leadership when you see all these pink tie guys showing up?
I loved it, Bryan. And thank you. I loved your bow tie. It just, when we walked in and, I saw, Aaron Dominguez and some of the other gentlemen with their pink ties and opening the door, and they were, handling the registration, and just seeing, the roles shift really does, I think, make an impact, and gives women a place to hold that space in the community. And I'm a firm believer, we all go through experiences in our careers, and I'm sure people might have experienced people above them that are of the mindset, I had to go through all of these challenges, so now you have to go through those challenges. And I'm a firm believer, why would I want to make someone's life difficult? Why do I want to continue that cycle when I can instead empower someone younger than me, equip them with the tools that I didn't have, right? And help them be better than what I was, right? To me, that's just like a foreign concept. And so seeing the gentlemen just being our hype men, filled my heart. It just reminds me of why I love the community that I'm in, because you all really did help set the tone and the stage that day.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we had amazing speakers, amazing, powerful women in the room.
Oh, Kat Osman. I mean, just drop that name. Forget about everybody else, but Kat is next level. Who, of course, in Round Rock, we're going to have the professional, softball team that she's going to be the GM for.
Yep. The Volts.
Yep. Pretty amazing.
Yes, it was so exciting. She's just such a force. Yeah.
Now to switch back to another direction. Again,
I love it.
There's so many things about you that are amazing. But you recently had a little bit of a loss, a tragedy for you that had you switch directions, and you were trying to decide kind of where you were going to go in your life. And it led you to our JumpStart program, which seemed to have given you some clarity. So I'd love for you to kind of just share a little bit about what that transformation was and what you're trying to do. And then talk a little bit about the JumpStart program.
Yeah, absolutely. So in September, lost my soul dog. And, I know she's not a human, but I don't have children. And that was, grad school, every year we would move, to just, little dirty apartment to a better one. Hopefully, that was the goal. And so she was my constant for the last 12 years. And she passed away. She's a lab mix of cancer. And so that was definitely a trying time for me, and dealing with that grief, and dealing with also at the company that I was at, just conflict and
uncomfortable
values not aligned. And I realized, you know what, I can either let this happen to me, or I can be, right?
You can have an abundant mindset.
Yes. And I remember, you were one of the first people I shared that with. And I remember you telling me, you need to have that abundance mindset. And so with that, I decided to channel that love that I had for her into, starting my own little side business. And so through the chamber, it's just kind of serendipitously, right?
Totally,
like timing.
Totally.
Who would have thought? The chamber provided this program called JumpStart for people with, you either have this new business idea, or you've
or
been
just some
doing
random
this,
crazy idea.
or some random crazy idea. And so I applied, I got in, and it was a 4-week program with Cam Hauser.
Former guest, great guest,
he's
yep.
awesome. And I decided to, start my own fresh food, specifically for, dogs with customizable to dogs with certain illnesses or diseases, because when I found out Zoe had cancer, she was 6. And by feeding her fresh, protein-rich and vegetable-rich, non-processed food, I truly believe that gave me 6 more years with her. So, just starting from, the concept of this, there's this idea, and then what's the next step, right? Because my entire career has been based off of, working for someone else, and I just wanted to see, well, what does it look like when you work for yourself? And so it's more of a local delivery. The next step will be farmers markets, but JumpStart was amazing, just from the inception of this idea to executing it and making your first sale and creating a pitch deck and understanding what your brand is, and then eventually, what logo or, what tools to use to help you kick off whatever idea you have in your mind and create a business out of it.
So from communication and journalism major to business development to starting to be entrepreneurship, what's a lesson you took away from JumpStart that's going to make you a better professional no matter what?
Just doing it.
Just showing up.
This has
been a theme this morning.
It has. Just show. I mean, what did they say? 50% of the work is just. I think it's more of like 70-80%. But yeah, Cam would encourage us, just do it. Even if you don't have your packaging, even if you don't even have a logo, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just do it. And even talking to you, I know you've been very instrumental in empowering, younger folks and in the community of just show up and then you'll figure it out, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, this abundance mindset of if I just show up, something's going to come out of this, right? Something's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's just the way, energy and frequencies work. So yeah, I would say
just show up.
Just show up. Just do it.
I appreciate you showing up here for us today and sharing, what you've learned and how this community has basically transformed your life.
Yes.
Definitely probably wasn't what you were planning when you were first off to
I
journalism
never could
school.
have imagined.
But we appreciate it. If people want to connect with you and ask questions about the community, about your new firm. You're now with a much smaller firm.
Yes.
There you go. KPA Engineers, the square in Georgetown.
Yes, it's wonderful.
But if they want to connect with you and ask you questions, either about YP, leadership, the chamber, you've been on the board for a while, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Honestly, I'm a phone gal, so either phone call or text. I'm also on Instagram under Lucy Chu, but professionally on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm accessible.
Awesome. Well,
in so many ways.
We appreciate you.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Bryan. This was awesome. I feel like it's full circle. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely.